Hello everyone, and welcome to this second series of video capsules. The theme chosen, and as it is written on the screen next to me, is as follows: Marie-Paule and the 10 Commandments. In the previous series, we got acquainted with the main stages of God's plan of love. After this overview, the time has come for us to better understand our place in this plan of love. What is it that God expects of us in everyday life? First, God has put in each of us a specific vocation. He gave us a unique role, a task to be carried out in His great plan of love. Who is called to marry, to have children? Who is called to join a religious community? Who is called to take care of the sick, to become a man or a woman of science, to teach, to cultivate, to build? There is, in fact, a great diversity in the field of vocations that complement each other and thus ensure the proper functioning of society. To realize one's vocation is to find fulfillment in the service of others, according to God's views, of course. And that is how one can become holy and even one day begin the process of divinization. To help us discover and to realize our vocation, God guides us through the events of our life and by the inspirations of our heart. To understand the language of God, it is important that we are on the right wavelength. Like a radio that can pick up several frequencies, our soul too can receive messages or be influenced from different sources. To be able to understand the language of God and to get His message, it is said that the soul must be in a state of grace. Marie-Paule writes on this topic in Life of Love. For several days now, I have been thinking of the beauty of a soul in the state of grace. The purer a soul and the more like crystal it is, the more does God reflect Himself in it. The more does He take possession of it, making of it a living tabernacle in which He takes His repose and acts. If we could only contemplate the radiant beauty of a pure soul, we would never want to sully such a masterpiece. This state of grace, which gradually renders our soul pure and transparent like crystal, is therefore necessary so that we can understand God's voice and realize our vocation. At first, the state of grace is a gift from God. The questions that then arise are as follows: how can it be maintained? And how can we grow in it more and more? To answer these questions, we will use yet another image. Thus, we can compare the state of grace to the state of health of our physical body. To be healthy, we must follow some recommendations and comply to a set of rules. Thus, obviously, it is necessary to breathe, to drink and to eat, to sleep and to rest, to dress and to take shelter when it is cold, to take care of the hygienic needs of our body, etc. In the same way, the health of our spiritual soul, the state of grace, requires sustained attention. To preserve it, it is also necessary to follow some recommendations and to obey to a set of rules. The first rule, which contains all the others, is to always want what is good, to do what is good, and to flee and reject any form of evil. To help us understand what is right and what is wrong, God has given a long time ago 10 commandments to Moses. These are 10 rules of life that must be respected to ensure the health of our spiritual body. Following the 10 commandments allows us to remain in the state of grace and to live in harmony with God, discovering His views on us in a never-growing happiness. These commandments have been translated into English, and it is important to learn them by heart. I strongly urge you to do so. So much for today's short video. In the next capsules, we will study together, under the guidance of Marie-Paule, the spirit that emerges from the 10 Commandments and how to properly put them into practice in our life. I thank you for your attention, and I give you my blessing. May all the divinity bless you, your families, and the entire world, the Father and the Son, the Mother and the Daughter, in the unity of the Spirit. Amen.